finals coming up. It's going to be Assault of the Sasquatch coming up next, and they are going to be going up against a team that we saw earlier, Know My Pods. And this team is incredibly strong, obviously has a lot of strong players, and we saw them play incredibly well in their semifinal set as well. Being able to get that 3-0 over the Ink Lawyers, who have been pretty hot today as well, able to take a few sets here and there. So it should be interesting here to see where this next one goes. And, I think we're in for a treat here.
Absolutely. I mean, both of these teams, like you said, incredibly strong showings. And not only that, we get to see counter picks now. So these teams have a lot more control over how this set can go. As long as those counter picks better be fast. They better be fast, and they better be legal.
Fast.
They gotta be legal too.
Well, okay. So the nice part about being a LAN, as someone who has been a TO at a LAN before, is you get to breathe down the players' necks while they are trying to find out their counter picks. So you can sit there and go, nope, that's not in the map pool. That's not in the map pool. Here's the map pool. Pick a map from here. And so
watch them read the map pool.
Yeah. Well, we'll see exactly what ends up happening there, but. Nonetheless, I mean, the other thing I want to talk about here is that these teams pretty much faced each other in Splatoon 3 finals as well. These are some of the strongest players here at this tournament. And, of course, the rosters looked a little bit different for Splatoon 3. They were just playing around a little bit. But nonetheless, worth noting that a lot of these players were also playing in those Splatoon 3 finals. Actually, I believe I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to communicate who actually ended up winning the Splatoon 3 finals. Because again, with the rosters looking a little bit different, it's going to be difficult to really judge. And come on, it's Splatoon 3. It was 24 hours. Does it really count as a tournament result that we could draw on? I don't really know.
It was the first day. Everybody's figuring everything out. It's definitely a result, but whether it's a result that we put weight on is another question.
Yeah. Come on. I just want Start GG on my iPad to work. That's all I'm asking for today.
Well, first of all, you're on an iPad, and second of all, you're on Start GG. So, the combination of those two things doesn't really mix that well.
Yeah. But all right, worth noting here that it feels like it was mostly Assault of the Sasquatch. Was playing as Test 1, and they were able to take the crown in 7 games of Splatoon 3 on Friday night, which was an incredible set. And by the way, after you're done watching Splatoon 2 today, if you're not hopping on Splatoon 3 and being excited to play yourself, you should go back and watch that. Or you should watch the set, simultaneously watch the matches while you're playing Splatoon 3 from yesterday. Might as well, right? I'm really looking forward to going back and seeing what else we can try to pull from there. But nonetheless, these two teams, incredibly strong players. We were already talking a little bit about Assault and Sasquatch, but let's switch over to Know My Pods for those of you who might just be joining us. This team, incredibly strong, and actually today, you see some of the members are actually wearing their PAX jerseys that they had last Monday. Leotos and Seth, I believe, both wearing those. And we'll be able to see them on stream here in a bit. But, a lot of these players so incredibly strong, especially Leotos on that Squiffer, right, which is a weapon that we don't get to see played very often at an incredibly high level. So I'm really excited to see what Leotos can bring to the rest of the table here.
Yeah, absolutely. I always love seeing the gameplay from it. And of course, we have Arashi as well, very well known. And then we have Lynn on the Inkbrush and the Junior, and we have Jess on a good variety of shooters. So this team, like you said, very strong players, very good to see them.
And look, Jess might be the weakest, or if you're looking at this, you might think, oh, okay, Jess is probably the weakest player. But look, Jess one tricks the K-Pro, incredibly strong with it. Played incredibly well throughout SAC with that Kensa Pro, so accurate, able to hold down the fort. And one of the things, we don't see the K-Pro very much in the current meta just because it tends not to be as fast as we think about. But with that K-Pro being able to be incredibly accurate, right? It might have a little bit less range to that Jet Squelcher. It might paint a little bit less. But if you are incredibly proficient with the weapon and you can always find your mark, you're going to be able to take out a lot of people with it. I've seen Jess come up huge on multiple different occasions with that Kensa Pro in their hands.
You have, in this class of weapons, you kind of have Pro, and then you have Squeezer, and you have Jet. And it's the balance between hard hitting and long range. And so you see a lot more Squeezer, especially with those bubbles. It's kind of right in the middle. But that K-Pro can still be incredibly valuable, especially because it has Booyah Bomb, a little bit different from those bubbles. They both Squeezer and the Pro have that Splat Bomb, but the Booyah Bomb means you can attack from a little bit farther away. You can displace people a little bit differently.
Yeah, and it's all about how you're displacing your opponents, and it's all about how you're taking space, right? And maybe it's worth exploring that a little bit more, right? Especially as we look at the differences between Booyah and the Bubble Blower. Now, Bubble Blower obviously not coming back in 3, but we have to learn how these specials are actually displacing their opponents so that we can apply it to other specials. Example, the Wave Breaker, right? If we're talking about Splatoon 3, yes, that's going to be able to displace opponents, but how is it actually going to be set up in order to get the most bang for your buck, right, out of that special? Worth noting and worth taking a look at all of these things, including things, I mean, frankly, Bubble Blower and Big Bubbler going to play incredibly similar, right? So how are these Bubble Blowers able to take space? How are people utilizing the Bubble Blower in order to take space? And obviously, the Big Bubbler is not going to like randomly explode, right? But it's worth seeing how exactly they're utilizing these things and just how much space, if those bubblers are used, or if the Bubble Blower is used in a defensive setting, just how much space it's able to take in, and what kinds of positions that might be utilized in Splatoon 3 on some of these maps, including the first one we'll see here, Splat Zone's Mako Mark.
Splat Zone's Mako, the bread and butter of the Splatoon 2 community, and honestly a fitting way to start off Winners Finals. Of course, we'll be going into counter picks after that, so who knows what we'll be seeing, but good way to start it off. These teams are going to have a wealth of experience on this map mode.
Yeah, an absolute wealth of experience. Apparently, we're having a difficult time like tracking down these teams, which is a little bit weird because one of the teams that just won.
Yeah, like where else would you be?
Left. Hello? Where is everybody? Crowd can hear us. Hey, crowd, how we doing? How we doing today?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're searching for the teams. The detective mode on.
Chaedr, how's your event been so far? We didn't get to actually talk about it.
That is true. We did not. These teams they were running through those maps.
So how's your event been?
It's been great. I've been hanging out with a lot of people.
Playing?
I was forcibly subbed in for S3.
Okay.
And I had to speed run 2 Turf Wars in order to unlock different weapons because I hadn't opened the game before I got here. And then I almost had to sub for Top Cut, but they found somebody else, so they didn't have to use me.
All right. So how is Splat 3? How is Splat 3 in a competitive setting? Because I obviously didn't get to play.
Jet Squelcher is still strong.
Jet Squelcher, what? That is Inkvac. That's right.
The angle one, the angle shooter. And Inkvac.
That sub-weapon, do not sleep on that sub-weapon.
Oh, yes,
In 3 months' time, when somebody figures out how that sub-weapon actually works, you are going to be seeing, like, 360 trick shot no-scopes with the angle shooter.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, I think you get marked if you run through it.
Yeah.
It gets marked. It deals damage if it hits you. It bounces off walls, so you have to do, like, trigonometry, but it's great. And the Inkvac getting put, I believe it's on Charger. So it's on it's on Charger, I think. Oh, hello, crowd. Hi, crowd. How you doing?
Hi, crowd. Woo!
Hey, crowd. But yeah, it got put on Jet, got put on Charger, and it means you can face down things that you haven't been able to face before. I mean, as a Jet, I took on a Charger. I took on a Splatling. I just took, oh, hey, big man.
Big man.
Big man. Hey. Hey. Yeah, hey, crowd, can we get an A?
Hey.
Thank you, crowd.
Yeah, I mean, again, to continue that point for Splatoon 3, do not sleep on this angle shooter. You might think, oh yeah, this weapon feels a little bit weird. This sub feels a little bit weird to use. It's not a traditional bomb. Like, what am I supposed to do with this thing?
I kept trying to like throw it in an arc, and it would just go out, and I was like, wait, no, it's straight.
It's gonna take a little bit of a learning curve, but I think as soon as people figure out how to,
it's not curve.
Okay, you know what?
Oh no!
It's time.
No, please don't bring
it up.
No, please don't bring it up. Oh god. Okay.
So we were casting a tournament last weekend together.
Squid Junction
last weekend. Shoutouts. And it took. How long have you been playing Splatoon again? You've been playing Splatoon for 3 years.
Late 2018. Yeah.
Late 2018. So 4 years at this point.
4 years. Yeah.
Almost four.
Almost 4.
It's taken 4 years for them to realize that the maps all have fish and sea creatures in their names.
No!
Do not give me a what.
No! I'm being bullied. On stream.
So, for those of you in chat who might be joining us who didn't realize they're sea creatures, hey, all the maps are named after sea creatures.
Except for Inkblot.
Except for Inkblot, except for...
Well, they're sea related, like Reef, Kelp Dome. Those are sea related.
Mincemeat Metalworks. isn't named after one. Scorch Gorge isn't named after one.
Yeah, but those are 3. Nobody knows the names of 3 maps.
Well.
Okay, you're a TO.
No, I'm not a TO anymore.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. You were an
not a TO anymore.
TO.
Ex-TO. That's right. No, I'm a commentator. So I still need to know the maps.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Arowana, Mako, Walleye, Moray.
They're all fish.
They're all fish.
All fish.
And I didn't realize I had this realization on stream. You can go back and watch the VOD. I have a breakdown over it. We were both very tired as well since we've been on SAC earlier. And
oh my. Yeah. They're all fish.
All fish.
They're all fish. So I hope you've made that realization, Twitch chat. If you're just joining us, if you're joining into the competitive scene, like this is your first broadcast that you're watching because you think, oh, look, Splatoon 3 looks cool.
Yeah.
I want to see what's happening on the competitive scale. First of all, you're in the right place. IPL, fantastic place.
Absolutely.
To watch for like competitive tournaments like at least twice a week and like 6 times a month or something ridiculous.
Something like that, yeah, because we have SOS every week, Lowing once a month, Reef Rushdown, maybe? No, not Reef.
Handful of other series I'm sure are going to start to be revitalized as soon as we get into Splatoon 3. But
I miss Testing Ground.
You are in the right place, 100%. So drop a follow for sure to the IPL channel, where you will see after today, pretty much exclusively Splatoon 3.
Yeah, all our tournaments are transferring into Splatoon 3.
For the past 2 weeks, we've been like, oh, this is the final blank tournament for Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
Pretty sure this is actually one of the last tournaments, period, end of sentence. I mean, obviously someone's going to be like, oh, I want to run a Splatoon 2 tournament because I want to remember how stupid Ink Armor was. Yeah. There will be those. But, of course, at this point, this really marks the end, the very end of Splatoon 2's competitive life cycle, as everyone's going to be focusing on Splatoon 3. So
we ushered in the beginning of Splat 3 yesterday. Or not yesterday.
Friday.
I'm losing track of time.
Hey.
But I was close. But
you were
Friday.
Close.
And today, we're pretty much ushering out the competitive scene. I mean, of course, like you said, it's still going to be around, but you're putting a period on the...
And thank God. Insert the crab rave here. Missiles are retuned. Ink Armor is out of the game.
No bubbles.
Yeah, but I would have liked to see bubbles.
That is true. Bubbles weren't as bad as armor.
Bubbles were fun.
We have tactical. We have Sippy in the game now.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to do a real quick shout out for one of our sponsors of the event, Papa John's, who is providing us with some pizza today. Fantastic stuff. Thank you very much. Of course, you too can pick up some Papa John's pizza. It's code SM25 at checkout for 10% off. I believe it is. It is Papa John's Smash is the code. I apologize. Yes. Apologies for that.
20% off. Code is Papa John's Smash. You can go to bts.gg/Papa John's or click on the banner below this stream, and you'll get 20% off. Yes, I do too.
I want to eat it right now.
It smells so good.
It smells very good. I can't, of course, because I have to focus on commentary, and I don't want to like get greasy hands all over everything here, because that would be terrible. But please do go get pizza. Pizza is good. Come on.
It is good.
Gaming, pizza. They go 2 and 2, right? So excellent job. I'm really looking forward to probably getting some pizza after this vlog. You know what? I think I might end up doing that.
That's fair. Yeah.
Just going to get a slice. Papa John's, thank you so much for your support of what is going on here, and for supporting Beyond the Summit with Smash Brothers, as well as some of our Splatoon gameplay here as well.
Absolutely. And look, we're starting to get our teams back. We found one of them, I think.
Oh, I think they're both there.
Are they both there?
They're slowly both getting there.
We at least found one of them. That's good.
Yeah.
Somebody went out, tracked him down. That's good. We got him back.
We're getting there. Maybe they had to use the bathroom and everything.
That's fair.
As well. So these things happen. See, look, there are 4 seats and chairs.
There we go. Yeah.
There are 4 people in every chair, or not 4 people.
4 people in every chair.
4 people in every chair.
I don't think that's how that works.
That's not how that works.
Bring every team up. 4 people to a controller.
Yeah.
Every single team plays one Splatoon match.
Well, but it seems like it said it. We were talking about it earlier, of course, but there you can see Landon and Leotos both wearing their PAX jerseys today, flexing a little bit.
Just
all
a little
around.
bit.
Also, I think They might be wearing their Splatoon 3 medals as well. Which is...
Show the camera if you are.
I mean, they're not. I don't know if they're listening. In fact, I hope they're not listening.
That's true.
Because Popgun's talking to them right now about something that's probably more important.
Listen to Popgun, not us.
Yeah, listen to Popgun. But anyway, other person worth noting here on Know My Pods, Arashi, playing in this tournament. Arashi has not been playing competitive Splatoon for quite some time. And obviously, infamous for the Ultra Stamp, infamous for the hammer. But today, I look over and I see Arashi playing any one of 10 different weapons.
Right, K-Shot, Tetras.
And that neither of those have hammer, so I assume probably still wants to pull out something like the mini Splatling, that has the hammer variant.
Oh, there it is. There's the medal.
There's the Splatoon 3 medal from earlier. Well done there overall. And just flexing overall. But you see these players starting to get ready to go, and they're starting to get right on into it here. So, of course, we will be in counter picks now. So the losing team will have the opportunity to take a look at what they want to play next. Yeah, I don't. There we go. Ant's got it too.
One. Nice.
Yeah, a lot of these players, of course, were here for Friday evening. And now they are in winners finals of Splatoon 2. One of these two teams going to punch their ticket on their way to grand.
I mean, look, it's a shiny gold thing. Of course you want to show it off.
Yeah. Of course you want to show it off there. But, of course, we're going to be getting in this one in a moment. You see Splatzone's Mega Mart on screen. It'll be our first starter map. Everyone loves it. It's coming back for 3 because everyone loves it. What? Do you not like it?
I don't know. It sure is a map in mode.
It is a map in mode.
Let me put it that way.
And that is named after a fish.
Yeah, it is named after. Yeah. Yep.
That's the way it is. That's the way it is. Got him. Woo! All right, folks. We're going to be getting into this one here. Enough of us stalling. Finally, it's winners finals here.
Yes.
Coming up. Let's hear it, crowd. We're getting into this one now. Splat Zone's Mega Mart. We'll see exactly what these teams have in store for us here. We were talking a lot about Assault of the Sasquatch earlier, but again, look at this composition out of Know My Pods. I see a Junior, Squiffer, K-Pro, so many things that we just don't often see.
Absolutely. You are going to have to watch that range from both the Squiffer and the K-Pro. Really fast kills out of both of those weapons. Going to be super important there. And then, of course, out of Assault of the Sasquatch, pretty much what we've been seeing all of this time. So now it is time to see both these teams clash. No one's down yet, but Know My Pods is able to take first control of that zone and hold on to that. We got a lot going out. Oh, the Squeezer unfortunately goes down even in the midst of that Booyah Bomb. Zone does flip. This Junior is down as well. We have Inkjet. We have Tenta Missiles popped as well, I think. We only have 3 on the field from both teams. Jess is able to pop that Booyah Bomb, get a pick as well. Very nicely placed there. And now he's going to try and take that right stack. Falls to the Squeezer, though. And that is 2 down for Know My Pods. 3 down now. Leoto's on the Squiffer, the only one remaining, meaning that Assault of the Sasquatch is going to be able to take mid here and then, again, move up very quickly.
And look at this, Ant getting very dangerously close to getting those bubbles ready as well. So that's going to be another tool at disposal for Know My Pods to be able to hold on to this map as it's starting to come forward. And here are our special coming out here. Bubbles coming out and are going to immediately get exploded. That's Leoto's already going down. Now going to pick up 1 onto Jess here as well. And Assault of the Sasquatch continuing to maintain their presence in front of this zone. It's the 3-down situation, and they're still around. Now, Landon popping this Ink Armor, looking to try to come on back here. They have to be careful. Inkjet coming in here as well. Leoto's trying to find these few picks onto the back lines here for these members of Know My Pods. But again, it goes down. A little bit of an overextension, 2-down situation. Now all of a sudden Seth comes up with another, and we're getting into knockout territory. That is the complete wipe, and that is very likely the game. Don't see many worlds where Know My Pods is coming back from this one. And Assault of the Sasquatch able to take care of business here. 100-0 knockout in game 1.
Very fast, very well played. Not quite 100-0, a little bit of a back and forth at the start, but once they got a hold of the zone, they did not let go. We saw, all of those, I think 4 or 5 in a row out of the Squeezer, and all of the rest to back up. Look at that, 10 KA in such a fast game.
That's how many was that? There were like 90 seconds in that game or something?
How do you hit double digits that quickly?
I don't know. Ant is something else. Ant, please keep playing this game.
Oh.
I don't know what all has happened in terms of Ant's schedule, but it is always a treat to see an incredibly strong foil squeezer player playing this weapon, utilizing those bubbles, utilizing all of the tools that the advantage that Squeezer has, having that, those 2 modes, right? Able to find a little bit of extra range, especially when your opponents aren't expecting it, is an absolute treat to watch overall.
Yeah, we got our counter pick very quickly. I mean, you saw Popgun standing right there, making sure those teams put it in. It is tower control on Anchovy Games. So this is the pick of No My Pods because they were able to pick that. They lost the first game. Tower Ancho, definitely a fair pick. I can see them doing very well here.
Yeah, I mean, when they have things, of course, Jess with the K-Pro, Booyah Bomb, right? Boom. Leotos probably still wants to be playing Fresh Squiffer, has that Inkjet at disposal as well. That Inkjet going to be coming in quite a lot of fantastic ways here for No My Pods. And so the rest of this as well is just going to, I think, come together. They're probably feeling pretty comfortable here. But, of course, we did see Assault of the Sasquatch win a game earlier on this map here against their semifinal opponents. So we'll be heading into this one here. And now it's No My Pods has to try to find an answer here playing this composition.
All right, no switches. These teams are tried and true. They know what works for them, and they're going to keep playing it.
Yeah, and already starting to storm right forward, as we mentioned. I would watch out for that ink jump. What can Leotos actually do? Because that's the other thing, is that this Swiffer probably isn't going to take all of the same positions that a traditional aggro would really want to do. But, that Inkjet has to be popped in very specific positions to get the maximum amount of benefit out of it. You're seeing some of the specials come out now. The Tenna Missiles, Stingray, all coming out, pushing these members of No My Pods back. And Assault of the Sasquatch looks like they're trying to take control of mid here, but it looks like Tess going to get spotted out here with a Splat Bomb. Now Leotos going up in the air here with this Inkjet, and it's going to be 2 down here for Assault of the Sasquatch. Ant is still sticking around here, trying to pull out a little bit of shenanigans. Is going to be able to find a trade here as well. It is just continuing to slow the push that my Pods might be able to have here. As now you see Arashi moving forward here, but it's going to be interesting to see just how far they can actually get with this, especially now with the Stingray coming out.
Yeah, Arashi going to pop those missiles. Jess moved up, as you can see. The Stingray going to force him off of tower very quickly, but Jess is able to withstand that with all the armor from the B-Bomb. Tess going to drop, get a pick on Leotos as well. Does get picked off, but the Squeezer getting 2, going down, but that is the full wipe on No My Pods. So despite the Squeezer going down, that's still 2 up for Assault Sasquatch, and they're going to be able to take this tower. And you can see all the jumps coming out to the Jet right there. Seth is going to hold this position on the fan. Such an important position, as we talked about before, to have that paint. Ink Armor, Stingray going to come out, missiles as well. Everything is getting popped right there. Jess has gone down, and you can see how far up this Squeezer is. This is dangerous territory. They don't even have the lead yet, but still, there is the lead. The Squeezer does get taken out a little bit early, and so Leotos is going to be able to pop that Jet, get this vantage point on the tower. Very, very nice pick. Looking for another. Does get it. Incredible Inkjet plays from them.
That's third for the road.
3 down. All right. So that push, not nearly as destructive as it could have been. Very nice stop from No My Pods there.
Bagging a little bit at the end. Leotos definitely feeling themselves, and now looking to come on through here. Ant, though, might be able to come up with 1. Able to find the second here, right back onto Leotos. Now has to turn around, but Landon's going to be able to catch that one out. The rest of the members, though, Assault of the Sasquatch able to take care of business there. And Assault of the Sasquatch was not able to find or was able to come up there with that defense, not letting my Pods take that tower on board. And now they're looking for a push of their own. Stingray, Ink Armor coming out.
Absolutely, and you can see they're already on this plat, already trying to take some space. They don't have as much space as they did before, but they are very slowly advancing forward. Tess here trying to make some more space. Doesn't get the pick, though, but Jess does go down. Landon's up here again, also looking for space. Almost has the armor that's going to be super helpful. Pop that against the bubbles. The bubbles are coming out. The missiles coming out. Squeezer looking for a pick, has to drop, doesn't quite find it. K-Shot also looking for something, and that is a 3 down for Assault of the Sasquatch there. Again, the push gets stopped, so both of these teams very, very strong defense here, despite the openings that they're also creating. They're just, neither of them is able to capitalize on it because of what the other team is giving to them. But now it is No My Pod's turn to try and make space, to try and go up onto this plat.
Yeah, each of these engagements actually doing a fantastic job of making sure that things aren't taken care of. Now Jess using the tower to boost back up here, allowing that Booyah Bomb to come on in here. Tess going to get taken out. Now it's a good situation for Assault of the Sasquatch. Have to be careful. Neon now is the last one up on the back lines. That suction bomb getting thrown to the top is not going to be able to find find that Stingray. Now 10 missiles coming out here, forcing Neon to back away. And you see all of my pods are focusing their attention that direction. They have the lead, but how much further can go? Arashi is the only one around here for the tower, and isn't going to be able to hop on it now. Leotos has the Sting Jet at the ready. Might be looking to pop it here. Might be trying to play the element of surprise in just a moment. But can't quite seem to find this right now, especially doesn't want to feel confident here because there can be someone else that comes right on forward. There it is, but able to find a turn. Now popping the Inkjet, getting up in the air. Leotos absolutely going off right now, forcing the final one to jump away as well. That's 3 down, and it's No My Pods continuing to storm forward here. Neon popping this Stingray, trying to maintain a little bit of presence here, but there is so much of the map to work with for My Pods.
Even with the Stingray, No My Pods is still continuing forward. Landon finally goes down, Shot goes down as well, but they are still going forward. They get another point on the board. That's finally 3 down. Leotos backing off, still maintaining a presence, still on that fan, finally gets taken out. So that's the wipe. They make it all the way to 30, and that is exactly what they needed to do, a massive opening, and they were finally able to capitalize on it. We've got just over 30 seconds left for Assault of the Sasquatch to come back to make this push happen again. They have a very long way to travel, but they also have these specials to back it up. They could definitely make something happen here. The missiles are going to come out. There we go indeed. Missiles, Stingray, Ink Armor, everything's coming out right here. Test looking for the Squeezer goes down, and that is not what you want to see. They did get the bubbles off. The Kbot goes down as well. Test has to back off here. They don't have the paint. They don't have the support to work with. They don't even get the pick. Leotos is able to come out to take control of that tower. They have the Ray. Again, they could just end this right here, and that is exactly what they're going to do. That is the game. That was a smart counter pick.
Fantastically well played here for the members of No My Pods. As you mentioned, it was their own counter pick that they were able to come up with that, and they were feeling so comfortable in terms of what they were able to do. They were not afraid of Ant Squeezer on the defensive side as they were trying to guard the tower from pushing forward, and then they knew exactly what to do on offense, especially with that triple that came out of Leotos, right? And then open the window of opportunity, then providing plenty of paint around that tower to dodge around the Stingray, which was absolutely vital. Able to maintain the push even through that Stingray, lasering that tower for so long. Able to clear past that second checkpoint and get the job done. So well done, and we've got a set here. It's going to be interesting to see where Sasquatch takes us.
Absolutely, 1-1, so we are on even ground again, waiting for that counter pick from Assault of the Sasquatch. It is in their hands now. They have a little bit of control over how this next one goes. Hopefully they can pick something that plays to their...
Yeah, and interesting thing here overall, Twitch chat predictions coming in. Assault of the Sasquatch, 74%. Well, feeling as confident on that at this point. Maybe sound off in chat what you're thinking. But the counter pick is going to come in. It's going to be Rainmaker to Humpback, which is interesting here. I think they're trying to find that tempo, trying to find the advantage. If they can turn around that corner on that choke point, maybe it'll be useful for them. But of course, there are plenty of tools here at the disposal of No My Pods, especially Leotos on that Inkjet. Have to be careful where exactly that's going to be popped. And I see this going very much either way.
Yeah, definitely. It's not decisive at all. And the sight lines are a little bit more difficult for Chargers, for Squiffer, but a little bit shorter range, so that might not affect Leotos as much. And of course, Jess has that Booyah, has the K-Pro, and we've seen how well they use that. So I don't think that's going to hinder them at all. We are going to get right into this match. We know that these teams know what they want.
Yeah, they are coming right on through with this one. Rainmaker, Humpback, here we go. Game 3. Trying to decide who is going to take an advantage later in this set. And we see the weapons coming out here. And there it is, the infamous Arashi Kensa L3. It's got that Ultra Stamp in tow. We'll see exactly what Arashi can pull out with this.
Absolutely. I mean, Arashi's not famous for the Ultra Stamp for no reason. Incredible plays, incredible capability with that. So that lies in store, and already that is at the ready, so we'll probably see it pretty soon. We have early specials as well, forcing a jump out from Leotos. We have the Inkjet, as well as we saw the Ray earlier. That's a nice pick at the end of that, and that means Assault of the Sasquatch going to be first to take this, and that's going to be 3 down. 3 down for No My Pods. That means they're going to be able to run this forward. Seth does go down, but still we have the bubbles coming out. Jess from the back, able to pull that off before, so 29, but 29, of course, we all know how high scoring this map gets, so that's not terrible. This is definitely still winnable for No My Pods.
so it's still winnable if they get past that choke point.
That is true,
right?
yes.
That is going to be the key point. I mean, it's basically a Splatoon 3 checkpoint. Try to turn that corner on that choke point here on Humpback if you decide to take that Rainmaker off to the right. Now, we're starting to see the specials, though, come out of Nomai Pods. They look to try to come on back into this one. Just popping this wheel bomb, able to find one here, but now might be caught out in trouble and is going to go down. That's the wipeout on to Nomai Pods. And so the Sasquatch has another opportunity to start painting forward here. Looks like bombs are going to start to come out here, trying to prevent this path for Test on board because there's no one else painting in the area. Set, though, up in the air with this Inkjet, looking to find a few, but not going to find anyone for right now. The jump's not coming in here for Assault Sasquatch. They're looking to just try to buy some time off the clock, but now look at this. Someone else has come up from the backside, partnering up here with Seth to try to force some of these members away, painting around this pedestal here, and things are looking a little bit dangerous. Now, Leotos in the air with this Inkjet, going to pair up with Landon to be able to find one here, and it looks like the members of Assault Sasquatch have finally been cleared away.
Oh, there's somebody on the right, though.
But they're still approaching.
They're still approaching. They're coming in from the left and the right. A little bit of pincer work going on. Those bubbles floating on. They got popped somewhere. I don't know where. We have the miss. They are not out of the woods. There is still so much pressure. Finally, 2 down. They're able to pick up that Rainmaker. Test is still somehow maintaining a presence. Leotos is just trying to bring this as far into mid as possible. Finally, the splash still there. The miss. That's definitely a sign of the splash presence. They did get taken out. Leotos finally able to get some points on the board and to bring this around. This is the choke point that you were talking about. You got to turn this corner. You got to get as far as possible. That Ray combined with Rashi going down is not going to make that easy. And that is a 3-down assist and the pick from the Stinger. You can see how well that coupled with the damage of Seth and everyone else forcing the jump out. That is an effective wipe on the side of Nomai Pods. And so again, Assault the Sasquatch going to take this. They're going to pop the Inkjet, going to throw out that miss and Bubble Blower as well. This is just so much space in the Rainmaker as well. Rashi's going to bring out that Ultra Stamp, try and get something done with it. Rainmaker does get picked off before they can, though. Oh, there's the snipe. We love to see it.
Well done on the hammer toss to be able to find one here. But
oh
now
my goodness,
Ant coming up from behind here, able to take care of one. Now continuing to try to lock down this presence. Going to buy the opportunity for Seth to pick up this Rainmaker as well. Assault the Sasquatch maintains their presence, maintains their space in enemy territory. Now they're finally able to go 3 down, but look at just how much of this map is still purple. Nomai Pods has to come back, and they have to come back strong, but Arashi in position with that Ultra Stamp. Might be looking to try to find a way back in here. But now here it is. Inkjet going up in the air for Leotos, able to find one. Now going to be looking towards the long range here, but Neon back on the back lines here with that Stingray. He's going to make it very difficult for this Rainmaker to move forward, and there it is, the pick on the Rainmaker there at the very end, right around this choke point that we've been talking about, and it just doesn't seem like Nomai Pods has the specials or has the tools at their disposal to be able to take the space into their opponent territory.
Right, Arashi's pop stamp there got canceled. Unfortunately, Tess was able to jump out, and so this Rainmaker is just stuck here, stuck on this choke point, stuck on this little corner. Leotos has another Inkjet at the ready, looking for the picks, gets picked themselves. That is not what you want to see, and that Rainmaker is about to reset. It gets picked up, but we just have another Stingray on the board. We have 2 specials. We have the L3 has that hammer. We have the Booyah Bomb, and so it's definitely possible. They have less than a minute to bring this back, though, and we have the bubbles again from that squeezer. You can see the 13 KA. They've been incredibly dangerous this game and continue to be.
Yeah, continue to be dangerous here for Ant, and look at just how much space, continue to make sure that no one from Nomai Pods can find a way back to get back towards this Rainmaker. 30 seconds left to go for Nomai Pods to find some kind of an answer, and it looks like they found the pop. Good situation for Assault of the Sasquatch. This could be dangerous. Neon jumping back away, has the Stingray at the disposal, trying to pop it here right on this choke point. Arashi with the hammer toss, not going to be able to find it. Leotos is out, the Inkjet has expired. There's not going to be many specials online for Nomai Pods to come on back here, and now they're going left. Jazz trying to take care of this Booyah Bomb, trying to throw that back and get one, is able to find one onto Tess. Now might be looking for another one here onto Ant, but the Rainmaker's going to go down. All of the same. 2-down situation for Nomai Pods. They can't quite seem to get it over top of this step, and now Arashi going down. That's the wipeout, and that's the game for Assault of the Sasquatch.
Are set now 2-1 for them. Honestly, I think that left push could have worked had that gone just a little bit better. It might have been they were trying to clear the space, but with that, also it being so close to the end of the game, you know, those late pushes, they get really scrappy, they get really difficult to manage. 16 KA, that's quite a lot.
So here's the thing I think that's worth noting. If you're looking at the composition from Nomai Pods, and we've talked so much about how much space,
right.
you know, and that's really about what a lot of this is. What these specials, it's all about trying to be able to take that space. It's about trying to be able to move forward and find advantageous positions to get that ink on the ground, especially in Rainmaker, to paint the path for that Rainmaker to carry forward. At the end of the day, the Nomai Pods composition didn't have many tools at their disposal to consistently take that space, especially when you're looking at a bubble blower on the other side of the map. If Leotos is carrying the Rainmaker, which we saw them do at one point during that match, that's one of the things I wanted to comment on. Leotos carrying that Rainmaker, you don't have the Inkjet at their disposal to take the space, and I think that was one of the most consistent tools, popping up off, from that lower ground, able to try to find some of the picks on higher ground and able to take some of those long-range shots. When you don't have that tool at your disposal either, you didn't have a lot to be able to actually move forward. That Ultra Stamp can be finicky, sometimes can try to get something done, and even the Booyah Bomb is very temporary, right? It's not able to permanently buy space for your team, and so I think that's a large part of where that composition was faltering for Nomad Pods. A fantastic counterpick and fantastic play, of course, out of Assault and the Sasquatch, able to capitalize on that and able to make sure that their opponents weren't feeling comfortable.
All right, we've got our 4th counter pick out here. Clam Blitz on the Reef. So we're gonna see all 4 modes in this set. That's usually in counter picks. You don't always see that. People don't like going to clams in counter
or Rainmaker.
Pick. Or Rainmaker, yeah. It's okay. We start with zones. Okay, we lost zones. Okay, tower control. All right, we bounce back between those 2 modes, but we're gonna see clams. We're gonna see it on the Reef. So, well then.
Yeah.
Map's pretty big. Map's got a lot of ledges.
And the other thing, too, I mean, it might have a lot of ledges, but it also has a decent amount of space where you're probably not going to be constantly doing 4v4s all over the place. And I think these 4v4s are really what's growing in favor of Solo Sasquatch. So I'm looking for Nomad Pods to try to find some of these more individual plays all across the map, whereas we'll see what happens here. Now, weapons coming out here, still sticking with the Stingray for Neon. And now we see Leotos actually moving over to the Fresh Swiffer here as well.
Yeah, Fresh Swiffer. Is that
no, that's
the new one?
That's new.
New Swiffer? I don't. It's a Swiffer. It's not the one we saw before. It's the one with the sticker. But that's gonna be 2 down very early on for Nomad Pods. That's gonna be making a lot. That's 3 down. That's the full wipe. That's really difficult for them. Seth, of course, taking this opportunity to go use a little sneaky route, passing all these clamps to test. There's another clamp spawn as well. So immediately that is gonna go in. Seth's gonna pass the rest of those in already at 62, 56, 50, 47. They're just continuing to count this down. I don't know where all these clams are coming from, but in the blink of an eye, they've gone from 100 to 38, and they still have clams to their name as long as they try and win these fights.
Oh my gosh.
Finds 1, finds 2. That is a great double, and that is another 3 down situation, but they don't have any more clams to their name. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back with any. Test finds 1 pick, does find the clam as well. Able to get it in, able to get that down to 26, 23. These clams are still pouring in. Again, I don't know, but
Seth
Test.
on the backside.
Oh, yes, Seth on the backside. Test misses a couple of clams. Those are going to go in. That's. Oh my good. That's it. Was a minute?
I don't even know. I mean, that was one singular push, and some of the Sasquatch was just able to continue keeping their presence, especially with things like that splash wall on the left side in that alleyway, able to take so much space out of the equation and able to be so distracting. Saw the Sasquatch making a statement there, taking that game 4 in incredibly convincing fashion, and they've punched their ticket to Grands.
Yeah, we will be seeing them in Grands. Of course, we're not going to go directly to Grands, but we'll be seeing them later. And wow, that was a swift and decisive end to that set.
Wow. You see hugs coming out. These players, of course, have a lot of respect for one another. But it'll be interesting to see what comes out of the rest of this year, especially as Nomad Pod starts to come back. They'll have to fight through losers, of course, or fight through the team that we see coming out there. But nonetheless, I mean, I'm hopeful that they can try to make some adjustments and try to find another way to take care of some of these members. Especially in terms of space they're taking, in terms of what specials they're selecting. Potentially there are some avenues to come on back there. And I imagine they're definitely going back to the drawing board. They're going to have some time probably before their next game to really flesh some of these things out.
Yeah, you get a little bit of time between these matches. Sometimes it's hard to stay warm, but you got to stay warm. You can work around with compositions a little bit, work around with strategies. So they have some time. They have some time to recollect themselves. And of course, that was a great showing from them still.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic showing there, especially on their own counterpick, right? Where they're able to take care of that first one. And, really, again, we're not afraid of Ant on a Squeezer on Tower Anchovy, right? Which was just really incredible to watch. But, of course, we'll be getting next when you see some of the players approaching the stage now as we advance forward in this